Yo, what is up, guys? It's EVO Camry here. You guys are probably freaking out by what you're seeing right now, but this is the short update. I'm just going to tell you pretty much everything that's been going on. So over here, let me take you guys. This is my most recent motor. It's junk. It kind of, well, my dumbass was driving on low oil. Oil light came on, and before it was too late till I can make it to the store and buy oil, because I didn't have any on me, that knocking noise started coming on. And you know what that was? It was this over here. Let me lift the motor. Okay, right there. So the piston absolutely just fucking destroyed. It didn't shoot out. It got stuck. I had to force it out so I can turn the flywheel. In order to take some stuff off, I needed like the torque converter and the transmission. But we're not using that one anymore because I got a new one when I found a new motor. So not only that, but I went ahead and put oil anyways when I heard the noise. It calmed down a little bit. It was still there, and my oil light had went off. I was thinking maybe, you know, I'll figure it out later. At least I made it home. So I took it to my buddy. We go check it out. When it was on, you can see that water was seeping out through the valve cover gasket, as if the head gasket blew up because the motor got too hot from running with low oil. And that's exactly what happened, and all the water went inside the engine. We lift the dipstick up when you can see it kind of still when the car was on, and all the fucking oil shot out with water mixed. So all that had happened. It made a big old fucking back step. We had to, you know, take the piston out just so we can turn the flywheel in order to get the torque converter out and transmission that I thought I was going to use. And turns out I found another one anyways that looks much newer, which is over here. But this transmission is from a 2001, which is all pretty much the same, but I heard that the torque converter size was a little different, even though that most of them are supposed to fit anyways, which I got confused because I received 4 torque converters in total and not one of them fit. Well, the first one fit, so we thought, but we never tried it because they're in here. I don't want to lift this up because it's all wet, and I don't want water to get in there again because, my god, it was so long to clean. But basically these guys brought it with the torque converter out completely in the rain, and they went ahead and covered the motor, and that was pretty much it. I specifically told them to cover everything, but I guess they thought that you can have water in the torque converter. Makes no sense. So we never bothered to put it on because I didn't want water to get in the transmission. And in that case, we had to wait for him to bring another one. He went ahead and brought the second one, and it was grinding against the transmission. It was the wrong size, but I was confused because it's supposed to fit, you know, various sizes, since all Toyota Camry engines, or at least through the 97 and 2000, whatever, it's pretty much the same. So I started thinking, did they even get that torque converter out of a Camry? And well, the guy said, well, I don't know, they just send me to deliver stuff. I don't really be the one to take it off. I was like, alright. Went ahead and brought a third one, didn't fit. Went ahead and brought the fourth one, didn't fit. And then he ended up saying, you know what, that was all the Toyota Camrys that we could get, you know, the parts from. You're out of luck, basically. And we said, you know what, we're just going to end up cleaning the first one, drain all the water out, and it took a long time, but it's ready to go now. Another thing was that motor that came with the transmission was bad too. We had just got this one. This one's bad. One of the reasons was, let me try to find it. I mean, there's this. I mean, that's not good. There's this. I mean, that's not good. Someone's been using water as coolant. and water pump's bad probably. Another thing that was bad was the rear main seal. The oil had metal shavings in it. We went ahead and opened up the oil pan. You can see that the filter had caught metal shavings, and also in the pan it was just everywhere. Then we found out that, you know, the pistons were rubbing together in the bottom. So this is not the one that I'm putting on, but I still have some good parts in here that I need to take off and swap on to the other motor that works. You know, we thought that one was all good. The compression was good. We gave it a spin from the flywheel. It wasn't hard at all. Just, you know, we weren't gonna open the oil pan when the guy did the delivery. Except on this one we did. We waited because, you know, we took our many chances. I mean, that sent like 3 different drivers, came at least 7 times, and they sounded to be annoyed already, which is really not our fault. You know, we paid our money for you to give us a motor that works, not to be sending you back and forth, you know. So what I'm going to change from this one is I need to take this manifold off. It just looks like it's chipped in some areas, and I don't know. The other one kind of looks newer anyways, so I'm just going to go ahead and swap it out. Oh, there you go. That's a crack right there. Oh yeah, that's not good. I went ahead and take this piece off of my first motor that was on the ground, because that one's the best out of all of them. Just right here, you can see it doesn't have any gunk at all inside. I can clean that off. I removed the spark plugs, ignition coils. I mean, these are gonna work. This throttle body, the other one was completely ripped off. Let me see if I can show you guys. So this right here is like all what's no good from the motors. So we have like all these hoses and stuff that were just ripped. And just, you know, look at this thermostat housing. Like, what is this? I don't know why this thermostat had like pink stuff around it. And I didn't tell you, but from that motor, as I showed you what was inside the housing, when I pulled out the thermostat, it was literally just the top of it that came out, just this piece. There was no spring, there was nothing. I have no idea what happened to it. This motor came with an alternator, which was kind of weird. I wasn't expecting it, but you know, I don't have use of it really. I have my new one that I barely bought for like 2 months. This is the old rear main seal. It was leaking bad, and oh my god, just look at it. It's the AC compressor, not really needing it. This is the old one. Here's the throttle body, completely ripped. Yeah, this throttle body or exhaust manifold actually looks way better. So this one's gonna be going on to that one. Oh, this is my first motors one. This one's good. I don't know why. I noticed that this one doesn't say B6. It actually says 5. And I don't know what's the difference. I just wondered, you know, I'm thinking the B6 is just somewhat better, and I don't know what advantage, but see, this just says 5. And these say B6. Here's my fuel injectors. This one's going to be going on to the exhaust manifold too. That one's no good, and this one's alright, but I think this one's the best one. Remember that my first motor was 95,000 miles. So it was my fault that the motor went out. I was doing a lot of driving the past few weeks, and I just was busy. I didn't have time to think about if my oil was low. Now it's gonna cross my mind every single time, because I do not want to do this all over again. So I have my other manifold over there. I wanted to paint it white. I'm gonna see how it looks. If not, then I can just take all the paint off. This flywheel I got from the first motor. It was better than the other one. It's all rusted up, and I don't know where I put it exactly, but I would have shown you. Don't know where it's at. I put a new rear main seal. I actually cleaned up and sanded down the actual metal around it, so it was brand new. None of these are really that good in condition, so it's just gonna stay a little open. It shouldn't be a problem. Maybe I can push it in a little more actually. Just tighten it down. I gotta change this oil filter. I gotta change the spark plugs. I gotta change these coils. We're not gonna use these, we're gonna use those that's on the ground. Change this manifold. I had to do so much force to take this pin out of that motor because this one was missing a pin, and if I were to just put it like that, the transmission would have, you know, a chance of not closing right, and the torque converter would just fly out, and that's just gonna fuck up everything. I already cleaned the oil pan. There's our silicone. There was one hole in the oil pan that a bolt didn't want to go through. I don't know why. I have a feeling that there's a thread in there that's just cut in the middle, and that's why it just won't go through, but who knows. Hopefully it doesn't leak. So I already replaced this frame. I replaced this. I gotta replace everything that's basically on that ground. I got new brakes to replace. I got new bumper. I got new rear bumper. This is the old one that's trash. I'm gonna, you know, do it again, the whole piece. Got all kinds of parts in here. This all needs to go back on. Got new alternator. I don't know if you can see it. That's the starter right there on the ground. New starter. I had to buy these to take the pin out. Jaw locking pliers. These are really good actually. So I'm actually happy that I bought these because I can use them for a lot more of this stuff. So now the pin's on. The transmission's ready to go on. I gotta find all the bolts for the transmission. Gotta drain out the transmission fluid too, and that's pretty much it. Just installing everything else, and somebody robbed my battery, so that's something to worry about later. But yeah guys, that's pretty much what's going on right now. I haven't done any updates because this has been a long process of even getting started, because a lot of issues I ran into, that the motor didn't even work, or you know, figuring out what was wrong and stuff like that. It's a whole thing. So I said short update, but this video actually became long. Alright guys, let me know if you guys want more, and I'm out. Peace.